Hey guys, so welcome to this week's podcast. I'm Claire, I'm a personal trainer, and I'm here to talk about all things health, fitness, or nutrition. So today we're going to be talking about nutrition. In addition to being a podcast this week, I'm giving a go to doing it as a video, so I'm going to upload it to YouTube. So if you prefer to watch these, you can kind of see me chatting about it. I would say it's nothing super fancy, but we're going to give it a go. So it's a little bit, so you can use whatever platform you prefer, whether it's using a podcast or whether it's you prefer watching people doing these podcasts. So check that out if you are that's a good start. If you enjoy watching the YouTube versions of podcasts, I guess. So today I just want to go through sort of some of my philosophy when it comes to nutrition. So I don't like complicated nutrition, and I think when it comes to it, the simplest things are often the best things to start with. So if you're looking to improve your nutrition, basically look at where you're at just now and identify some things that you could cut out, or see if you are overeating is a good place to start. So by keeping a food diary of what you're currently having is a good thing to do, and that means you can look at how much calories in the food that you're currently eating, and we're just creating some, I'd say mindfulness, but it just basically creates an understanding of the calories within the foods that you're having. Once you've done your your tracking of it, so do that for, I would say, about 5 days, and make sure you include a weekend. So it's a good place to start, and then look to that plan to see how you can create something a little bit healthier around that, or just adapt what you already have. So a diet doesn't have to be an extreme or a completely new thing to you. You can just work on adding in some more fruit and vegetables and improving your current diet that you have, and not going to extremely low with the calories as well. So you always want to sit just slightly below your maintenance calories, and you can use any online calculator. They're all very similar, but I'll just give you a starting point to start with, I guess. But it gives you your starting calories, and I'll just slightly below maintenance is where you want to be, but that's a starting point. So you might have to adjust that for you, so you might not lose weight on that, even if you've reduced it from what even if you've taken the calculator to say, like, I've reduced it, I want to lose weight or lose fat, then you might still have to reduce that further just for you as a specific, because that's a generalization on the information you've provided. Usually height, weight, and some activity levels, but our activity levels are not the same every day, so that might change. So it might not be the same as exactly what you've inputted. So you want to make sure that you are just using that to create a starting point for yourself. Then you want to look at how you can change your current diet to fit those calorie targets and macros that you've set yourself. It doesn't, like I said, it doesn't have to be like cut out everything that you enjoy. If you can do like 80% of your day and week being healthy, nutrient dense, meaning fruits and vegetables, lean meats, unless you're obviously a vegan or vegetarian, then you want to include like your pulses and beans for your protein content as well. So adapting what you have is a good starting point. I think I've said that a couple of times now, but I can't be more forceful about that. Do not try to cut everything out that you're having now, because you're going to feel over restricted and not be able to stick to it. So looking at your foods that you have just now, we're going to look to create meals around those foods. That might just be changing out some things. So if you have a lot of 5 or the 7% turkey mince, say, cutting that down to the 2%. So it's just swapping out one thing for another. If you have the 10% yogurt, taking that down to the 0% fat yogurt, by reducing the fat levels of those, will take the calories right down, because the fat has higher calorie content than your protein and carbs. So if you can keep the fat intake down, that means you can have more food volume for your calories that you've set yourself to lose weight. Swaps is a good place to definitely start with it. So you don't want to feel like you're being restricted. You want to still enjoy everything that you're doing. So I would still say every day to have something that you can have to keep yourself on track. Now, not everyone can do that. Some people just prefer just to go cold turkey, and that's fine if that's your approach. But I would say the majority of people prefer to have a little something every day, so they don't feel like they're on a diet, which is kind of the way I would look at doing it. So if you can include, say, if you say you're like a massive sweet tooth, or you prefer even crisps or whatever, find one of those that will, keep you on track. So not keep you on track, so you can have every day, so you feel like you can stay on track longer because you're not missing out on something. You're not being super restrictive, and that is long term. That's a good way to go, because you don't want to have to then try to factor them in, because you've just cut it all the way down, and you know you're going to put your calories. When you get to the end of the phase where you've hit you go weight, then you're like, oh, now what? But if you can already include them in your diet and actually be balanced with them, so your food is supporting you losing weight, it's supporting your exercise activity levels that you're doing, but you're still also have a little treat. But it's not a cheat meal, it's nothing like that. It's just something that you can include every day that you feel like will support you mentally to stay on your road to your goal. Once you find these ones, putting them all together can be a little bit tricky, but just in the beginning, if you can track your calories, so you learn all your foods and how they all go together across the day. So I would say splitting them evenly across the day is a good way to do it. If you miss out breakfast, the tendency is you might want to eat more or eat in excess in an evening. So if you can spread the calories out a day, you're less likely to feel like you want to eat everything once you start eating in an evening, or sort of later in the day as well. If you're a snacker, then you need to think about splitting your meals up that way as well. So if you know that you go morning, you'll have your breakfast, lunch is fine, but in the afternoon you like a snack, so you need to consider how to use your calories when you're splitting up the calories into each meal. So there's no right or wrong way to do it. You should say, if you only like a little breakfast, then you'd make something that is a little breakfast for you to suit your calories, and then build in your snacks at around 150, 200 calories, whatever that would be. But when you split your food up, that you have a bigger meal around the time that you kind of feel like you usually want to. So usually evening meals are the bigger meals that will save you heading off and wanting to eat a lot of food or snacking a lot after it. But I do find that most people who haven't been eating breakfast and then start to eat breakfast, they actually feel less inclined to snack and nibble on things in the evening, because they haven't waited so long to give their body fuel for the day. Especially, I'd say, if you're working out in the morning, you want to eat something after it as well, just to maximise protein synthesis and your recovery. So if you do your workout, say 7, you want to eat within a couple of hours of that, just so your body starts recovering and repairing from that workout. And then have your protein split throughout the day as well, just so you've got the protein to fuel your recovery throughout the day as well, rather than just wait until the one meal to have a lot of it. For your protein levels, that's the only thing I would say to track as well. So when you're looking at your calories, looking at that, look that you're getting enough protein as well. That varies person to person, but I'd say just aiming for 1 gram of protein per 1 kilo of body weight is a good starting point if you're not already hitting that. You do find that most people quite easily hit protein in the beginning, but it's just how to do that once you start creating your meals from scratch, rather than just buying the shop bought ones that tell you how much they are. So you just need to work on figuring out how much protein your 100 grams of chicken has, turkey has, and then building that into your meals as well. So I like to keep all those I like to keep the nutrition quite simple in the beginning. So just having, if you have healthy recipes, or going to even like the BBC Good Food, they do low calorie foods that you can check the calories of before you make it, and you can see the protein content of it as well. You can also use like MyFitnessPal, you can create a recipe in there, so you just have to do it once if it's one that you commonly eat, and then swapping them out, adding them in each time you're using them. So the meals, you will tend to see they eat the same things, either not every week, but maybe every couple of weeks you'll still have the same meals, especially if you find something that you really like. Like I eat a lot of turkey burgers with different seasoning in them, because I just really like turkey burgers, and I just made that with 2% seasoning, and then just 2% seasoning, 2% fat turkey mince, and then just add different seasoning and sometimes a little bit of oats into that, just to, if it's quite watery, just add that into there. And then they make nice low calorie, healthy, either you can have them as a snack or you can have them as a meal with something else, and they're a good go-to for me. So you just need to find a good around a simple, quick go-to meal for you as well, and try not to overthink what you're doing with your nutrition. I would say a lot of people they've seen all the diets online that they want to this is the best food, this is the best food for weight loss, this is you must drink this much water. But honestly, you need to find something that works for you. So find a breakfast that works, try different ones out, look at the ones that you see online and see which ones actually are or do work for you. And then same with each meal, come up with your sort of go-to ones. So when you're not sure, you can't really fit in the prep time, at least you know that's available, and you have like a steady shopping list. Shopping gets easier as well, I think, once you're actually doing the same foods. You know exactly what you need, so you can go in and you don't have to do the prep time, just creating your shopping list if you are eating the same things. And most of us tend to eat the same things every week, so that simplifies all the shopping on it. Shopping for you every week as well. You don't need to create your list individually every time if you are having different meals each week as well. So hopefully that helps with just getting started on your nutrition, like an overview of how I would generally help my clients with creating their own, creating nutrition as well. I provide example meal plans, so this is how I would spend your calories. This is how you could effectively use your calories in a given day and in a week, and you see the variety that you can include in there into each week if you want to include it. It's cost effective to have this, maybe the same dinner 2 nights in a row, or have the dinner and then the lunch the next day with the leftovers. That's a cost effective way as well, but it's all quite easily to prepare in advance. And preparing a couple of days, 3 days in advance as well is good, as long as it's stored in the fridge. So that's how I would sort of try to simplify nutrition for clients, and I thought I would just share that with you. So if you've enjoyed this one, then I'm going to be releasing like a new podcast each week again. So this week's been nutrition. Next week I'm going to be looking at just creating simple exercise programs, training programs to help fit your goals as well. So you can check that out if you are on YouTube or you enjoy watching things on YouTube. Then you can then go and now watch this podcast. It's not too long, so hopefully you enjoy the video format of it as well. Give the Achieve Health and Fitness page a follow as well when you are there. Until next week, bye guys.